Alright guys, welcome back to Blackacre Ranch. Another day, we're going to make some progress on this handling facility. We're getting close to wrapping up at least functionally what we need to do. So right now the task in store for us is to finish closing in the rest of the handling pens. So that's what's up today. We got a gate to put up, we got to do some extra welding. I'll kind of show you what I've been doing. We have been doing as we've hung all these panels, so that way you guys can have an idea since we didn't get it on video. And we're gonna make sure, hopefully, if there's enough sun, that we can get the buffalo in here and let them start wandering around through this before we start working them, so that way they have a chance to at least explore it and get an idea of what's going on. So stick with us as we get the rest of this little pen here buttoned back up so we can get to work. Great. Alright guys, so last video you saw the fact that the kids got this fence done. And they worked pretty hard on it, and they were getting some stuff going. They dug the holes, they formed the H-brace, and really what we were doing here was just trying to connect the existing outside line on this handling pen and then bring it forward. So if you remember, we had wrapped all of our barbed wire, brought it up to the original corner post over here, and then saved it, and then brought over what we needed and finished it. We only got 3 T-posts. So they hammered the T-posts, they did everything. I haven't even touched the fence, but on task for today is with every fence, there's typically a gate. So it's right over here. So we are gonna put the gate in and button up this half. So some people are gonna be working on that, maybe myself included, I don't know. That's the first thing that has to get done. This is the east end, never eat shredded wheat. East end, west end has more stuff. Okay, west end over here, we have taken from this handling pen that's actually right here. Let me spin you around. This is the corner. And the kids and family set posts just the other day, put these all in concrete. And you can see here's the existing, what's it called? Barbed wire fence. So we have some extra rails, of course, and we're gonna be putting these rails up here. And so I'm gonna get them tacked up and moving on that front. This is where I would demonstrate to you what we've been doing, and hopefully it works, right? Take that knowledge I've gained from the welder and see if we can do it without burning holes and everything. So anyway, these are the 2 main things that have to happen. For now, this is what we need to work on, and let's just get started. All right, let's just get started.
We don't want to go too far.
All right, we're about to weld. We got this first gate up. This is what it looks like. So how we're doing this, just a couple straps. We loop up at the top with a strap. We loop up the other side, and it just cradles right there. You can cradle it wherever you want. Kind of lift up the gate and pull the strap. But when you get it up almost to the height you want, then you start to ratchet a little bit so it it kind of locks itself in, and then you just fine tune it with little ratcheting, and that's it, right? You do the other side as well. So we've got 2 points on it, and we kind of level it out. Put a level on it. Now this is the kind of the trick part, is you got to measure where you want. The existing panels were probably lower than I really actually wanted. So these are only about probably 5.5, 5 feet 7, 5 feet 8. I'm gonna match them just for the sake of matching, because if I didn't, these guys would be in the half, and then when it comes time to actually like close off the ends, it's a nightmare, okay? So I'm just gonna match these, and what I'll probably just have to do is run an extra bar up top to get the height that I want. That would be the simplest way to do it without having to adjust things right now. So the other thing is they have these sleeves. They go inside the pipe. Now, it would be perfect if these were a little bit bigger. These are like 1/2 inch smaller than the ID, but whatever. They would also put like a little bead, so when you slide it in, it only goes so far. and then you could just slide in. Well, these don't have it, so I have to tack weld every one of them, and because they're so small, I lift them up to the top and then tack weld it so I can then rest the other one on it. Then I have to weld around it. So it's just more annoying. I wish they would have been a little bit more accurate in their sizing of this and then put that knob. I think the reason they didn't do it is they have other panels they make, and it's 1 1/4 rails instead of like these 1 1/2, and so they have different sizes, but it's kind of lame, but whatever, we'll get through it. So tack weld these first, then we're going to slide this over, then I go ahead and weld at the edges to this so that way it stays over there, then I can go through all the rest of the rails. So I might take a few passes before I show you anything that I'm doing here, just to make sure I'm not rookie too much, right? So anyway, it's getting dark. So these are the tack welds I've been doing. These first ones went easier, but as it went along, it seemed like I could strike it, but it wouldn't stay. It just wants to stick all the time. So I tried turning up some of the power to see if I could, if that was a thing. It just wasn't enough power because I'm using a 1/8 rod. I know he was using a 1/16, or not a 1/16, a 3/32, but I've got these to stick for now. I'm not 100% sold they're actually gonna stay, but we're gonna try and move this over and get this thing on. Well, that didn't work. 3 of them are falling off. It's hot. All right, that's better. All right, Mari. Push. All right, up top, we got a little bit of a gap. We can push this down, and we might be able to squeeze it over a little bit. The gap gets smaller as we go down the bottom. So it just means we're a little bit out of level, which isn't bad. You can always correct levelness, okay? But I'll caution you, sometimes you don't want it level. You know, you want to kind of take a step back, look, make sure it looks right. You can match terrain, or it can be perfectly level. This is a fairly level across the slope which comes this way, so I want it to be fairly level, especially because the next junction down there is going to start going down. So I'm not going to try and pick it up too much, because we're going to start dropping as we go further over. Okay, these are not pretty. Struggling a little bit. It still keeps tacking on me. I'm not striking very well, but I'm melting it in a mutilated way. It is holding, it is working, it is not gorgeous, okay? So don't judge me. Don't you dare judge me, Lizzie. Anyway, if anybody watches Pride and Prejudice. You can see these very different welds. The top one actually kind of looked the best. So I am still kind of burning through some of it. Not as bad as I was, but it's looking pretty good. Still just trying to work on the striking, but I'm burning pretty well. I just still maybe too hot on the railing, but otherwise it's going okay. That's what we're gonna do. Right like that. Gotta bind these together. There. Now let's weld it.
Yeah, that sounds better. Okay.
All right, done welding. I still fought the arc sticking the stupid rod all the time, but turning it up a little bit extra helped. A thicker rod, I think, just needed more current to be able to stop it from sticking, so to keep the arc going. But anyway, whatever. It's all welded up, and you know, I just want to be happy for a while, right? But I want to show you. Okay, the welds got better as we went along, but when I first started welding, I was burning through everything. So come look at these and see how it is. So because we angled this up top here, this is here, but when you look at the bottom, it's just tacked on the inside. But like this guy right here, I didn't burn through him. He's tacked. Didn't burn through him. I didn't burn through any, that's still hot. Anyway, still all of them. So didn't burn through any of them. It all looks good. Now we haven't cleaned any of these things, all right? We haven't gone over it with a wire brush or a grinder or anything like that, but they're on and it feels tight. And it's not coming off. So we just have a few little things left. We did get the gate up. We want to show you the gate, and then we got to stretch the barbed wire here. But that might be another day because there's no way in the world we're gonna get the buffalo in here. And we have to close off the openings to the alley. So tomorrow we'll catch you up again and finish these things off and get the buffalo in. All right guys, it's the next day. We kind of called it a wrap, so we're doing all that welding. We did last night get this red trailer moved in. It is blocking the end. We have a couple gates that we wanted to put there, but come to find out they were going to have to get converted from wood mount to a working with a steel, and that's not going to happen. So I'm going to do some other work, make some hinges and so forth. So what we're doing now is just blocking the entrance. So we got that all set up. Yesterday, because of time, we're not able to record a lot of this stuff, so I can't give you all the how-tos of everything. But the family got the gate up. So the gate is all set. It's all hung. We'll see if it works very well, but okay. So it all comes, and it's not too bad. So it's got a decent gap. It's pretty level with the post. So not too bad. So the gate is done. So this whole side behind me now, the line is all set, the gate can be closed, and we're good to go. Then we have all this over here, which is done. Handling, almost. And then over here by the panels we did yesterday, they are still standing in case you're wondering. My wife, of course, got all this barbed wire ran from the post that was over here. So this is now secured. This is secured. Everything is set, ready to go, except we have little bits on this handling facility that we want to take care of that the buffalo don't get injured. So let me show you those. The thing that we have to touch up on the handling facility is the exposed open ends. It's not for weather considerations. It's not even the hornets right now that bother me that are gonna nest in here if you don't close it off. it's the buffalo. If they ever come up and they have to get rubbed up against it or shoved or bumped and whatever, they're gonna gouge themselves on that pretty bad. So, where necessary, we've ground and cut these things. There are select spots where we're gonna do this right now. This is one of them in the open alleyway. There is no gate. Let me show you actually some of these and kind of explain it as we go. So here's the other side. This is what we just cut. Looks horrible, but anyway, we're gonna put a 1.5 inch angle iron on this because they're 1.5 inch pipe, and so it'll just come over the edge like this. It'll be coming over there. So we're gonna cut those up, put them all the way down. On the panels on the inside, like in this situation here, we are not gonna put a piece of angle iron here. We're just gonna fill it with foam. And see how that works with the Hornets. So other places, what we've done, we try to put gates in strategic spots. Like this gate is on the same side mounted as the panel. Therefore, as long as the gate is closed, they probably won't rub up against this. It won't be so bad. However, if I've got time, I'm going to try and also cover this with a 1.5 inch angle before we work the buffalo. It will ultimately anyway, but at least before we work them, I'm trying to get as many of these done as I can. Here in the middle, this is the middle line that goes down the 72 feet. This is exposed. Likewise on the far side. But you can see even when a gate is open, like right here, it still protects all that stuff over here. So we're trying to cover as much of these things that might be exposed to hurt the buffalo right now. So I've got a bunch of angle iron. I'm going to start cutting this stuff and start tack welding it up and getting it up there so that way we can let the buffalo back in. I'm hoping we can get that all done today. I don't know. We're gonna have to see. Is that a new blade?
It's still pretty. Match it.
Match. All right, we have successfully cut 8 of these guys. These are 1.5 by 1.5, and they're 1/8 inch thick. Okay, so they're not super thick, but they're not super thin like these guys are. And really what we're just gonna do, level them out up on top, put them up, tack weld on the different sides, and we're done. And we just keep going forward. So I'm gonna get everything now and start getting a move on because it's gonna get dark and I'll be here until it's dark. Yeah, until it's dark. Recognize the wifey as she grinds away and shortens those stubs down so it's not sticking out 2 inches. There goes one. Do we have anything better than this?
I was going to go up to the pavilion to look for a new battery, and we do have some clamps up there that we had bought. So if you give me the keys.
Turn the helmet on. It's auto darkening, so it stays, for those who don't know, it's not consistently black. So once it registers all of the bright light, it automatically darkens, so that way I can see what I'm doing before I actually strike. It's nice, they're just butt expensive. And they have batteries, so that's even worse. So on this back side over here, I got a little too far away. So here, it gets to be too much of a gap down at the bottom. So I've welded back inside as much as I can, but I'm gonna leave that there. I'll come back with a grinding wheel and try and round out these corners and these edges a little bit. Certain welds don't look too bad. Others got a little carried away. That one's not too bad, top and bottom. It gets rough when I try and fill the gap that exists because there's a thickness of the pipe which makes it so it doesn't quite come all the way over 1.5. So maybe I should have gotten 2-inch, but whatever, I've only got 1.5 now. Let's get all these others cranked out. Okay, watch out.
Yep.
All right, guys, making fast work. Sun's going down. We've got to book it. We're gonna have to let the buffalo in right now. We'll show you tomorrow how everything goes. That's gonna be on the next video. We got everything done. Just a few more of these to put on. We gotta go. We have something else to be at. So, just a few more of these to put on. Everything should be set here. We're gonna keep the gates closed where the areas are that we would have wanted to put this. That way they don't have any injury risk, hopefully. And again, they're just gonna sniff around and observe. So we're gonna open the gate, let them come in at their leisure, and we'll meet them tomorrow, and we'll start again. Catch you then next time, all right? Appreciate it. Like and subscribe, please. Bye.